All right, everybody, come on in. Come on in. Joe and I got started ahead of you. Sorry, couldn't help it, but come on in. We'll hit the
I met
reset button.
Edwin's dog. I met Edwin's dog. What's his name, Edwin?
Winston Churchill.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Love.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. As you come in, press those red hearts.
Yep. It's we need them for the algorithm, but it's fun to do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, we got a lot to talk about, Joe. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about.
By the way, you say that to launch every week, and you're always right.
I wish it weren't true, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, because I teach a course in troubles of American democracy to young kids, like college kids, and they just don't know the country you and I knew. They don't know it. The country of Ronald Reagan or of even Bill Clinton. It's ancient history to them. What they know is this meanness that they've seen their whole life from Donald Trump. And I think it's time to start a campaign. When Donald Trump said "Make America Great Again," he meant great for himself, right? How about we just make America America again, so that the country that you and I know and love can be back out there for another generation to benefit from. Because right now it's unrecognizable. I mean, that with the guardrails down, what they are doing in personal corruption, in weaponizing government, all of that would have been, just plain unconscionable before, prosecuted before.
I agree with you, and I didn't realize that until the last couple of years because I do a lot of speaking on college campuses.
Yeah.
And Edwin, I would go onto these campuses, and I'd want to just slap these young kids upside the head because they'd say, "Oh, Joe, politics sucks. Everybody's bad, blah, blah, blah." And I wanted to just shake them up. But then they made the point you just made to me, and it woke me up. They only know Trump. Like Edwin, college kids today don't even remember Obama, or they didn't vote for Obama.
No. And in fairness, they might remember Joe, but Joe was not an energetic president. I mean, I like some things he got done, but all the news when Joe was president was Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really something if you think about it, how one person has just dominated everything.
Look, he sells media for sure. He absolutely has. He's a genius at that.
He is. And I don't think, again, my new party, your longtime party, has ever figured out how to deal with this. And you're right. Joe Biden was too damn old, not energetic enough. Yep. So he purposely kind of gave the stage to Trump.
Yeah, he did. I mean, we've had really good politicians. I mean, in his prime, Bill Clinton could have dealt with this. He could have. He was good enough, really good enough to do this for sure. And I think a lot of people are waking up, but it's very late in the game. But now the man's a lame duck. He is really a lame duck. And the folks in your party are beginning, now that his poll numbers are where they are, and they are, they can't shift the blame for the hunger that's about to happen. They can't shift the blame for the healthcare price that's about to happen. I think there's a little bit of panic over there in your old house.
Do you really?
Yep, I do. So they put in these, a couple of them have put in bills, standalone bills, saying we should just pass something to keep SNAP going. They're not going to get it to the floor, but the idea that they're even doing that, yeah, I think there's some panic over there.
Well, the Senate just nullified all of Trump's tariffs.
Yeah.
Now that I think 4 or 5 Republican senators went along with every Democrat because, as you know, and I know, and everybody in God's kingdom should know, these tariffs, every single one, are unconstitutional.
They are unconstitutional.
But the Senate probably finally said that. Now they know the House will not even take that up, but still, that's a statement, Edwin.
Well, it's a statement meant for the ears of the Supreme Court, which is hearing that case. So when they, that should impact. I mean, the judges should okay, the legislature doesn't unanimously think they want to give them these powers.
Yeah, but I coming from that world, I've been down this road too many times where smart people have said, Republicans are finally going to break. Republicans are finally going to stand up to them, whatever. And it's never happened. I don't see that.
Yeah,
And
I don't disagree with you. I mean, I've learned my lesson. I'm just saying there's panic in the house. I'm not saying I'm going to do the right thing.
no, agreed. There is private panic
Yeah.
because assuming there are midterms next year, Republicans should be in trouble. Now, they're trying to cheat in so many different ways.
But every time they gerrymander now, again, they have to turn their own 70 plus district into a 60 plus district in order to carve another one in there. They just make it harder for their own incumbents. And I think we'll get some of them. I mean, their poll numbers are tanking, and they should have. I mean, prices are up. And nobody likes what they see. But in my city, I mean, you look at these rallies, and these rallies are big, and they are mostly white folks for sure.
Yeah.
Because this is a battle for the soul of white America. Are we really going to be what he says we are? You've seen those trading cards, right? Those little like the white people trading cards.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is. I mean, it's just really kind of funny. I mean, so we're either going to be the kind of people he says we are, or somebody else. And Black America, which is a lot of voters in America, and Hispanic America, he did better than expected a couple of years ago. The Republicans did. I think he's polling at like 4 in the Black community.
His numbers with young people are tanking. His numbers with Latino voters are tanking.
Go on. Yeah.
But again, reminder, cautionary tale, Democratic numbers are bad too. Maybe Democratic numbers don't have to be good to at least win back the House. I don't want Democrats to think that way.
No.
I want Democrats to think, because I don't know, Edwin, a lot of these people now who are becoming disenchanted with Trump again just may not vote next year. Democrats need to get them.
Yeah. I mean, well, maybe. I mean, the margins were pretty close. If they stay home, we'll win. But I'd like to get them. And I think we can get them because there is a big middle in the country with a lot of agreement. There are fringe issues that people don't agree about, but a lot of big issues. We shouldn't let Americans starve. We shouldn't, jack up healthcare 100% in the middle of the year. And the damn army doesn't belong on our streets.
Yeah. Do you getting back to your topic of the young people that you teach?
Yeah.
I always found there was a real dichotomy in how you and our generation views Trump and young people. Edwin Eisendrath, do you believe Trump is a real threat to our democracy?
I do.
I do as well.
Yeah.
Every college campus I went to, when I would say that, they'd roll their eyes. And their general response would be, yeah, Joe, Trump's a goof. He's an idiot, blah, blah, blah. But they all suck. And Biden's 100 years old, and both parties suck. And I would get young people, college-age people, who laugh at Trump. I don't laugh at him. I found that to be a real generational difference.
Well, oh my gosh, have I lost you?
I lost you.
Yeah, where'd you go? There you are.
There you are.
So what I do is I spend time with people on the measures that organizations look at on democracy, so that we know what they are, so we can talk about what their threats. And I also have them read David Pepper's book, Laboratories of Autocracy. And when they get through that, they begin to understand how you can affect the institutions of a democracy and erode them. And every day we start with some news. Like, is this news that you hate? It's just something you hate and you don't like, or is it news that gets to whether we can have a functioning democracy or not? Because I think for a lot of people, they think if they hate it, it's bad for the democracy. And that's certainly not true. People disagree, and that's okay.
But do you believe young people view Trump as a unique threat, or he's just part of a fucked up political system?
I think they're coming back to politics in part because of how screwed up Trump is. I think they're coming back, and so that makes them feel I mean, but ones who attend these rallies, they sort of get caught up in politics again.
Mhm.
Um, so once that happens, then yeah, I think they are going to participate.
Have you gotten a sense in your class which issue is most outrageous to them? Which thing Trump is doing that's
Well,
really got them worked up?
Joe, I'm teaching in Chicago into
Booyah!
right? I
Booyah!
mean, like, what's going on our streets is absolutely 100% what's most terrifying to everybody here. Yeah.
We've never seen anything like this before.
No, and again, for as horrible as it is, and I kind of worry, like good writers in the rest of the country are saying this horror show in Chicago is going on, and I appreciate that, and it could come to Philadelphia next, and I'm like, okay, but what it's brought out in Chicago is not a horror show. What it's brought out among Chicagoans is awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, people helping each other everywhere, people standing up to this, people not getting intimidated by this. And like an endless stream, people who look like you and me running out of their house in their pajamas in the
Yeah.
morning to
Yeah.
chase
Yeah.
ice away. I mean, I got a call from a friend of mine who for reasons that are inexplicable likes Donald Trump. And he's like, my girlfriend's somebody who works for him just got pinched by ice, a good lawyer.
Oh, wow.
You know.
Wow. Well, again, Edwin, I say this all the time. I said it on CNN just 3 days ago.
Mhm.
The one good thing about Trump is he's forcing us in real time to decide what kind of country we want to be, because he's doing such horrific things which are no longer hypothetical. It's
No.
happening. So we have to decide. And you keep reminding me the people in Chicago are deciding
We've
this is not
decided.
this is not what they want to be.
Yeah, and they're doing something about it. Yeah. Decided and doing something. I mean, that's why I'm saying it's time to make America America again, so that young people know the promise the country has, so that they have a future here, so that everybody, I mean, I go back and read Ronald Reagan. I have, I mean, he wasn't my party, but his voice is in my head, right? I mean, he said freedom is only, never more than one generation away from extinction.
Yeah.
And, he said, like, it doesn't, I'm sorry, JD Vance, it isn't in your bloodstream. It's something else.
It's utterly something else.
Yeah.
And this is what I know. You and I are so much alike, but I come from the right. Reagan's party, right? The shining city on the hill. Come, come, come. You want to come here, man, while the getting's good? Come
Yep.
here for freedom and opportunity, a chance. This party is the utter opposite now. Stay the fuck away. We don't want you here.
Unless you come from South Africa and you're worried that your Boer property's being taken away.
Yeah, did you see that? So they may let in the minimum of like 7,500 people this year, but they'll all be white immigrants.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a big world and we're part of that world. And he has this strange image. It's not part of who we are, that like, you look one way, this is your part. You look another way, that's your part of the world. There's another part of the world. I mean, it's tiny mind, tiny little soul he has.
Yeah, and everything is a zero-sum game to him. But the other thing, Edwin, is, and I'm starting to talk about this a lot more, Trump's just a vehicle in many ways for a lot of people. The Project 2025 people and this issue of Christian nationalism, and in particular, white Christian nationalism.
Yeah.
Stephen Miller, Russ Vaught, J.D. Vance, a lot of the big, powerful people in this administration want America to be a Christian country. Man, get back to a where white people and Christians dominated. And they're saying this publicly. This is antithetical to America, but it's animating my former party. I don't think Trump believes this. Trump doesn't even, he's an idiot. He's just a vehicle for a lot of these people. This is scary.
Yeah, it's terrible. They stand for things that's why I say make America America again, because what they want, I mean, the University of Virginia, your guys, who founded by your guy, right? They signed this compact with him. And this compact is going to limit the number of black students who can go to that university. I mean,
So what is the I'm naive. That's the one thing, Edwin, that has surprised me. The number of universities and law firms and companies and big tech people that have just bent their knee to him. I didn't see all of that coming.
so the more you have to lose, the more you're willing to sign up with a guy who could take it from you, I guess. This is why we're going to get saved by ordinary Americans. You think about, like, why did all of those Romans back in the day decide it was okay to switch sides and be with the Goths? You
Yeah.
know? And it's
Yeah.
because all their wealth was in farms. And if the Goth guys walked over the farm and said, you got to make a choice here, they made the same thing. You know, they switched sides on us. And just like the presidents, I mean, we stand up for democracy, right? We stand up for freedom. He switched sides and he got on Russia's side in a war. And some of our big companies, they're switching sides. They don't care. And it's a lesson. And I hate to say it, but when we win, it's a lesson that's going to come back and bite them.
You keep speaking about, and you're right, that ordinary people are rising to the occasion. Assess my new political party, your political party. Do you see the Democratic Party getting their act together more and more or not?
Well, the baseline is different because and this is like, I'm going to give you a little lesson in being a Democrat. Democrats put their act together does not look organized. I mean, because we're going to have some really great candidates all over the place, and they're going to do really well. And we've started to, we've started to try and understand this media ecosystem we're in, which is terrible for Democrats, for sure.
Yeah.
But stuff like this actually helps, and it helps Democrats. I mean, John Tester. I love John Tester. Love John Tester. John Tester's out doing podcasts now. He's all over the place. He's going to connect with farmers in a way that he couldn't when he was the senator from Montana, right? I mean, just so we're beginning to get our act together in that sort of weird bottoms-up way that Democrats do get their act together. It never feels like we're a well-organized machine, because we aren't.
Right. And I also think, and I've never been this way, and you've never been this way, way too many Democrats have been afraid to just go out there unscripted and talk, and to go on a podcast, to go on a Substack live and just take questions without a fucking consultant or a pollster telling you what to say. That's been a disease in the Democratic Party. Just go out there and be authentic. I think they're beginning to grasp that.
The ones who are, Zoran Mamdani has kicked a lot of old Democrats' butts by going out there and being himself against some scripted candidates, for sure. But you know what? I'm thinking about the mayors of Chicago in my life, the ones who were out there.
Yeah.
They were not scripted. Harold Washington read a lot of books, but he wasn't scripted. Boy, could he talk. Richard Daley, not as articulate as Harold Washington, but it wasn't a script. It was from the heart, And so we're kind of used to that locally. And I think, and I just, this stuff in Washington is just abstract in so many ways. We need people who do this.
And the national brand of the party
is terrible.
Terrible. And so we're seeing individual candidates kind of carve out their own thing by necessity.
Yeah, but the one thing I don't want them to do, and I counsel them not to do, is say, I'm not that kind of Democrat. Because that's just running against yourself and stupid. Just like, this is who I am. This is one. And you know what? There are plenty of reasons to be a Democrat. And they go back to a lot of values that we have about the country. And let it go. You don't have to fight every fight.
Exactly. I'm not Zoran Mamdani, but the minute he won that primary, I endorsed him.
It was over.
Democratic nominee. Done.
Yep.
He's the Democratic nominee. It's a big tent. We take all comers.
That's right. Yeah. Right? You and I were just talking about John Tester. John Tester's not Zoran Mamdani. Right? But we got them both. And I love that about the Democrats. I just do. It's not a unified. During your time as a Republican, that party became like a European party, where it had a certain ideology, and if you didn't fit it, you were tossed out. So I like big tents.
I wish Tester was back in office. I got to admit, because I love that guy. I know maybe you've done. I did his podcast with him.
Yeah.
He's just a fucking hoot. He's just a regular, real guy.
Yes, he is. Yes,
and we need that.
Yeah, and he was in the Senate telling people, "I'm sorry, I don't care what the company says. If your tractor breaks and it's harvest time, you got to be allowed to fix it."
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. It's a shame because a guy like that probably could never get elected in that state again.
Well, never's a long time, but
never's a long time.
Yep. Yeah.
I by the way, Edwin, I've never asked you, where are you on the Electoral College? If you could be king of America, would you snap your fingers and get rid of it?
Probably. Although that didn't come to me most of my life. I mean, I worry that means that candidates won't campaign, in small places. But the only thing the Electoral College has any say over is president and vice president.
That's it.
And you know what? They should be elected by the whole country. So yeah,
whoever wins the most votes should be president. I've always thought that.
Yeah. I didn't always think it because I thought, there's a danger in only campaigning on the coasts. And as a guy who lives in the middle of the country, I worry about that. But that danger is outweighed by, but we now had a bunch of presidents who didn't win the majority of the vote.
Yeah. And I mean, God, virtually every election in our lifetime, certainly the last 20 years, they're only campaigning in 6 states anyways. They're really.
And yes. And weird
come to Illinois. They never. Yeah.
So yes, I think we have to get rid of the Electoral College. Yeah. I mean, I have some, like if I were writing the Constitution all over just things that can't possibly happen because of the problems in the Senate, I think this, what the biggest state every 10 years should split in half and the smallest one should get merged into its next largest neighbor. Then we'll finally, they'll begin over time to level out the Senate. And that's a little,
that's interesting.
Brutal, but
but would our founders, Adams and Jefferson, if they were with us right now, and they looked at Trump and they said, "Man, that's exactly what we feared."
Yep.
Would they have put more into that Constitution to protect against him? Did they not put enough in there? I think about that.
Well, I mean, what they put lasted a long time. I mean, the erosion of the institutions that protect us has been steady, and people have hammered at it. And, I mean, when I was a kid, people still talked about, perfecting, what do you have to do to make the democracy better? But for 30, 40 years, both sides have been like, okay, here it is. Where's my edge? Where's my edge? Where's my edge? And that carved away at those institutions, and we have to build them back up. I don't think the founders could ever have imagined that the House of Representatives would go in the tank like this. I mean, in their wildest dreams, Trump won could not have escaped impeachment for that.
We sit here with the House of Representatives. Basically, they've closed down. An Arizona congresswoman won an election 37 days ago. 38. She hasn't been sworn in yet.
Right.
And you could argue, Edwin, that they're not working and they won't swear her in because they're afraid of these Epstein files. I mean, it's just bizarre. And oh, by the way, the government shut down. So you could argue our government remains shut down because Donald Trump said, don't open up because I don't want the Epstein files out. This is some bizarre stuff.
Right. But reality in terms of healthcare costs and food is about to be very real in America. And 15 million people going hungry. That's not you and that's not me. We'll be okay. But to see our fellow Americans suffering like this is something nobody wants. Nobody wants.
How do you see this coming to a conclusion? And do you see it soon?
I think Donald Trump is savvy enough to want it to bring it to an end. I think the longer it goes on, it's not so good for him.
He's been very disengaged, even for him.
Yep. So I don't know. I worry now that the government unions have said, that puts pressure on the Democrats. And I hope they have the courage to say, we're all in it together. I'm not doing a special deal for you. we have to fix these problems. And I think there's some, as I say, I think there's some fractures in the Republican House, in the Republican Senate, but in the Republican
No,
Senate.
I can tell you, Edwin, that privately, Republicans are anxious, and they're letting the White House know they're anxious. They are stunned that the Democrats have stayed so unified for so long.
Yeah. And maybe we're going to get to the point where the lame duckness starts to quack. And some Republican says, if I were running for president, I might. The Republican version of Rahm Emanuel is like getting way ahead of his skis out there saying, if I were president, this is what I would do. That suddenly causes a different dynamic.
Trump will never be a lame duck. And because I just truly believe my former party is a cult, and every single one until 28 is gone, they will all bow to him. And if you want to run for president on the Republican side in 28, you've got to stay on your knees with him until the last dog is done. I'd be stunned.
Well, you know what? I'm all for it, because then all those dogs are going to be done, because, these poll numbers they're getting to be like historically low. And it's going to, this is going to rub off on everybody. I mean, if you were running against any of them, if I were running against any of them, how much fun could you have out there? I mean, look, like every day the damage they're doing is like real to everybody you'd ever talk to.
Yeah, and Republicans believe that this is not traditional. Trump is not traditional, so don't go by the normal way that we plot out midterms. And Trump defies his numbers all the time. Trump won't be on the ballot next year, but they're going to desperately put him out there, get him out there campaigning for them as much as they can.
Good. I'm just good, right? Because he isn't popular. He's got a base for sure. But you know what? What's that song, Defying Gravity? It's not going to happen forever. And the stuff that he's doing is impacting people's lives. It's in my neighborhood. There's hello, you don't forget that there's tear gas around the school, around the corner from your house. You're like, okay, I get it. The sky's clear today, but I'm not going to forget that 2 days ago we had this here. Are you kidding me?
That was unbelievable, Edwin. And the whole country saw that video. That video of tear gas in that neighborhood was stunning.
I mean, Dan Bavino, he thinks he's like a Dalek, from Doctor Who.
Yeah,
He wears the coat with the body. He's out there being like, exterminate. No.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. We're not afraid of you. We're going to fight back.
No, I agree. I agree. These videos are powerful.
And arresting everybody who shows up to take pictures of them, it's just Americans aren't putting up with that.
And we are only just beginning to feel the economic pain of his tariffs.
Yes. And when when we're feeling them and we're watching the gold ballroom and all these corporate titans in there with their crypto wallets open in the gold ballroom, Americans are going to say, like, what the fuck? This is, we didn't like our politics before. That's why we elected you, but we did not expect this.
Well, this is why it's so good for people to listen to you and I every week, because you are my optimistic, it's sunny out and we're going to do this kind of a guy. And I am Debbie Downer. And oh my God, Trump and Republicans are going to defy gravity. There's not going to be a midterm. They're going to cheat. They're going to win. So you get both if you listen to us.
Well, yeah, you will. But and let me just switch for a minute. I'm not so floating above it all that I don't see the tear gas, and I don't think they're going to cheat. They are going to cheat. They're absolutely going to try and cheat. But that doesn't mean they win.
Right.
I mean, right? America's won a lot of wars against opponents who did everything they could to beat us, and they didn't.
I just want everybody listening to us every week to be scared to all hell. I want fear. I want real righteous fear to rule the day. Because I want that to motivate us. We're a year out now, Edwin. Oh my God, look what's happened in 10 months. We've got another year of this.
We do. But you know what? This week we got Virginia, We've got New Jersey. We got a Supreme Court race in Pennsylvania. We got a proposition in California. And I think we might run the table. And
Okay. Okay, we should. And oh my God, if we don't win New Jersey, if some
Jersey's close, but yeah,
shouldn't be close. Doggone it, it shouldn't be close.
Yeah.
Virginia shouldn't be close. We'll see.
We'll see. But winning, if we win, we win, and that sends a message too.
Agreed. And the other message is everybody listening to us, subscribe to both Eisendrath and Walsh. Subscribe to both of us. Spread the gospel.
Spread the word. All right, Joe. Same time next week.
Thanks, Edwin. Thanks, my friend.
Bye.